Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Our winds have been from the south this afternoon, which brought our temperatures into the upper 40s. That wind actually going to pick up once it shifts around to the northwest, following a cold front early tomorrow. But we maintain some of that warmth here this evening as our temperatures are still in the mid 40s at 45 right now in Rockford, Freeport, 43 in Poplar Grove, Harvard, and 44 currently in Rochelle. We've got cloud cover. We had sunshine earlier today, but now our skies have filled with those clouds, and they'll stay with us as we go through the remainder of tonight. Eventually, we'll see some rain, even a couple of snow showers mix in. Temperatures will stay in the 40s. We'll look at that snow potential and where the greatest impacts will stay, and kind of a quick shot of some colder air coming in, all in the First Warn forecast a little later.
A court hearing reveals more about what happened the night someone killed a Rockford police canine. The man accused of the crime listens to the charges against him. Plus, Illinois gun rights activists bring their assault weapons ban case to the U.S. Supreme Court. The group's director says this dispute was designed for the High Court. And a Rockford organization receives thousands of dollars in grants from a national casino chain. Advocates say the donation will improve children's lives across the state line.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. We'll have those stories in just a minute, but first, shots ring out at the Kansas City Chiefs Championship Parade. Kansas City police say at least one person is dead, up to 15 people are hurt. Fans ran for cover. Police report they've got 2 suspects in custody. The team was on buses headed back to Arrowhead Stadium when that shooting happened. The man investigators say shot and killed a Rockford police canine appears in court. Malik Trotter faces a long list of charges, including attempted murder and killing a police animal. Drea Baroni was in the courtroom to hear the lead up to January 28th's events. Drea, what did you learn?
Eric, Trotter wasn't actually in the courtroom. He appeared over Zoom. He's charged with theft for reportedly stealing his girlfriend's phone. He's also accused of aggravated discharge of a firearm. Investigators say he shot at his girlfriend's son when the son tried to get the phone back. That's when someone called police. They tracked her phone that showed Trotter's location at a backyard on 11th Street. Rockford police officer Vargas with K9 Nix tried to talk with Trotter. Police say Trotter ran. Nix was shot and killed in the chase. Trotter was hit in the leg after he exchanged shots with Vargas. Trotter's next court date is scheduled for March 13th at 9 a.m. Eric?
Thanks, Drea. Rockford police haven't released much information about a morning shooting. First responders were called to Rockford Ridge Apartments on Elm Street around 11:30. That's the former Concord Commons housing complex near West State and Springfield. Neighbors say they gave aid to a shooting victim until medical help arrived. Rockford PD hasn't confirmed any other details. We'll provide updates as we learn more. The Illinois State Rifle Association takes its case against the state's assault weapons ban to the U.S. Supreme Court. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the law last year. From the beginning of this legal battle, the ISRA expected it to go to the Supreme Court. Group members had until March to file this appeal. They wanted to get it in earlier. The association hopes justices hear the case by June. Otherwise, an answer might not come for more than a year.
When we started the case, we knew this is where we were headed. So the case is designed to be heard by the United States Supreme Court. But it's up to the Supreme Court, of course, whether they hear it or not.
The 7th Appellate Court ruled in the state's favor in November. That allowed the law to remain in effect. This case and several other Second Amendment suits in other states are waiting to be heard. Rifle Association leaders expect those to be lumped together at the Supreme Court. Elected officials weigh in on the early impact of Illinois' Safety Act. Specifically, they're talking about the changes to the system for deciding who gets released while waiting for trial. Concerns about the original law and fears violent criminals might be released free on bail led to Democrats and Republicans tweaking the bill. 6 months after certain parts of the Safety Act took effect, states' attorneys still disagree over whether they changed enough aspects of the law.
The law has actually worked out fairly well. It's nowhere near as bad as the original law.
Our judges are stuck. And it doesn't matter if a judge makes a finding that that person is a danger to our community, the judge can do absolutely nothing.
I think it should concern people that depending on your geographic boundary, whether you could be held pre-trial for a nonviolent offense or whether you could be set free for committing a murder.
And that's still happening today, despite the changes to the Safety Act.
Because these continue to be human endeavors.
Prosecutors want lawmakers to give judges more discretion to hold a person based on the potential threat to the community. Domestic abuse cases continue to be a concern, with judges releasing defendants more often than not. Some people moving to Illinois because of restrictions or bans on medical procedures could get some financial help. A bill in the Capitol would give providers who relocate to Illinois because of abortion restrictions or bans in their state a $500 tax credit. The proposal would also apply to patients. It's not just limited to abortions. People relocating to Illinois for gender-affirming care because of restrictions where they're from would also qualify.
Anything we can do to ensure that whoever comes to Illinois, whether they live in Illinois or they're an out-of-state patient, get the care they need, we support that. So this bill would ensure that more providers come to Illinois, and so when we see more patients coming to Illinois, we can provide that care.
Educators could also get the credit if they're coming to Illinois because of limits on what they can teach. If this becomes law, people would get the credit on their 2024 taxes. A Winnebago County organization gets a donation to continue the mission of protecting kids. Hard Rock Casino Rockford announced Winnebago County Casa will receive $5,000. Executives say the grant is part of the casino's commitment to improve the lives of the communities Hard Rock serves. CASA advocates for children in the juvenile abuse neglect court system. The organization's executive director says this grant will go a long way to spread the word about what CASA does.
One of the things we know is when we're recruiting volunteers, it's not like you hear about us and then you decide, oh, I'm going to volunteer. It's usually a 6-8 month process of thinking about it, talking with your family, thinking about how it impacts your job. So this will help us be in as many different places as we can throughout Winnebago County so that we can talk to people about what we do and see if there isn't a way we can partner and get them to volunteer.
Winnebago County CASA is one of 50 grant winners chosen from around the world. The U.S. House of Representatives impeached the Homeland Security Secretary. Up next, lawmakers comment about what might happen to the effort in the Senate, the next step in the process. Coming up at 6, a state line scholarship gives Freeport students the gift of education. Family members behind the fund say their work is about honoring their parents' legacy.
Temperatures dropped into the teens this morning as our skies cleared out, but with sunshine and a southerly wind, we made it into the upper 40s today. 49, the official high temperature in Rockford. Those numbers will drop the next few days. Find out when we'll see, though, the 50s return coming up in the First Horn forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Representatives in the U.S. House vote to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary. That happened last night. It's the first time in nearly 150 years a cabinet member's been impeached. The matter now heads to the Senate for trial. Anna Wernicke looks at how the matter could be dismissed in the Democrat-controlled chamber.
The resolution is adopted.
In a late-night vote on Tuesday, the House voted 214 to 213 to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over his handling of the southern border.
We had to do that. He has abdicated his responsibility. He's breached the public trust.
House Speaker Mike Johnson applauded the historic impeachment of a cabinet member, while Democrats blasted the move.
This impeachment against Secretary Mayorkas is a sham.
We believe that what occurred last night is baseless. It's shameful.
Now the articles of impeachment will be sent to the Democratic-controlled Senate, where senators will determine whether to proceed forward with a trial or vote to dismiss it altogether.
Everyone in the Senate views the Mayorkas impeachment as a stunt. They don't view it as serious, and we are going to dispatch of it quickly, whether that's done by a motion to dismiss or a referral to committee.
Virginia Democratic Senator Tim Kaine says an impeachment trial would be a waste of time, as senators aren't scheduled to return until the end of the month and must pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown in March.
We're not going to spend much time on it in the Senate. We need to focus on the appropriations bill.
In the meantime, Secretary Mayorkas will keep his job, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will address the impeachment trial when they return on February 26th. In Washington, I'm Anna Wernicke.
Rain will roll into the state line later tonight. After the break, Candace tells us if we'll see any snow with the showers.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Oh, well, you know, today has been a pretty decent day. We made it close to 50, up to 49 this afternoon. Had some sunshine early on, but now the clouds are on the increase, and this will leave our skies mostly cloudy but dry through much of this evening. It won't be until after about 9-10 o'clock tonight that we'll start to see some light rain move in. And this is tied into an area of low pressure quickly developing to our west. We've got some snow well up to the north through the Dakotas and Minnesota, starting to see some of those rain showers now develop over western Iowa. That will quickly move over northern Illinois here as we go through the night tonight. For most of us, it is going to come down as mostly rain, but there are going to be some snow showers that do mix in. Beautiful picture on our SkyTrack camera. Even though we've had the clouds come in, you can still see a little light there on the horizon. This is up in Beloit here this evening. But again, a mostly cloudy and relatively milder night, as our temperatures right now are in the 40s. 45 in Rockford, 46 in Janesville. A little bit of a breeze has knocked the wind chill factor down in the 30s in a couple of spots, but the wind chill becomes a little more of a factor once we get into Friday night and early Saturday. Saturday morning wind chills could be down in the single digits, so it's a little on the colder side, at least to start the weekend. We're 34. Most of tonight, though, will be spent in the 40s and the upper 30s. We'll see that 34 come in very early tomorrow with the rain moving in late and even a few claps of thunder. 39 for tomorrow afternoon. Gets a little windy, though. Notice our winds will be gusting in at about 30 miles per hour. The strongest of the winds coming in here very early tomorrow and lasting through noon. They'll begin to settle, but we'll still hold on to a little breeze once we get into tomorrow afternoon. So it will feel noticeably colder tomorrow compared to where our temperatures have been, even though we're still in the upper 30s. Now let's time out some of the rain showers as these move through. Notice we're about 10 o'clock here tonight, starting to see some of that move in just to the west. For most of us up through the state line, temperatures are going to be warm enough to support mostly rain, and we could even hear a couple rumbles of thunder after about 1-2 o'clock tomorrow morning. To the north, however, look what happens. Our temperatures begin to cool across southern Wisconsin. That gets close to the state line, and I think that could even fall a little further south, maybe along Highway 20 or US 20 there. So with that in mind, there could be some snow showers that do mix in. Better chance for mostly snow to the north. There is a winter weather advisory further to the north where several inches of snow are expected there across Wisconsin. Notice some lightning strikes showing up here too. This is very early Thursday, so perhaps even some thunder snow, which could produce some quick bursts of some snow there north of the state line. So accumulations will be likely there. For us closer to the region, you've got maybe about an inch at most, I think, on some grassy surfaces. Once you get south of 20, it's primarily going to be all rainfall. Most of this is out of here, though, by sunrise tomorrow. May be a little lingering precipitation on the backside of that, but once we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see things clear out, and we do see a return of sunshine, but again, you still have that wind. Cloud cover comes back, and this is with another system that moves in very early Friday. Now, the bulk of this precipitation, which would be light snow, is expected to stay to the south of us, but with the track of that, we'll keep an eye, especially on Friday morning. Could be a couple of lighter snow showers there, but anything significantly accumulating going to run through central and southern Illinois with a low pressure system that continues to shift to the south. But our winds will pick up there from the northwest, so it'll feel a lot colder. In fact, temperatures on Friday, notice our numbers will be dropping back. You've got the 20 and teens there well to the northwest of us. Highs on Friday will sit close to 30, and then we're down into the mid-teens once we get into Friday night, so that's where those single-digit wind chills come in early Saturday. Saturday, we're up to 30. The cool down is short-lived. As quick as it came in, it's out of here. We're back into the 40s, and I think we've even got the 50s with some of that warmth even extending through the end of February.
It's nice to see another 50 showing up there at the end of the 7-day. Candace, thanks. Scott's in next to his sports. He'll tell us why so many teenage girls in Rockford are more inspired than ever to give flag football a shot.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Girls high school flag football in the Rockford area and throughout Illinois is ready to take off to a new level. For the past 2 years here and elsewhere, the sport has been overseen by the Rockford Park District and the Chicago Public Schools with support from the Chicago Bears. Starting this fall, though, it'll be an official IHSA sanctioned sport.
The leaders in terms of
Wednesday morning at Hallis Hall, VIPs from the IHSA, the Bears, and CPS held a press conference to draw awareness to what's happening with the sport and what it will mean for so many teenage girls. 3 girls from Rockford were there. Auburn's Carrington Weatherly, Harlem's Giada Nowling, and Guilford's Maya Page.
It's crazy being in a room with all of those people because they really care and want to help it grow and just give everybody the opportunities.
It's a very big deal. A lot of men underestimate us and they don't think that we can do what they do. It makes me very emotional sometimes when I think about it actually being a sport.
Weatherly has played flag football for Auburn the last 2 seasons when it was not sanctioned by the IHSA. She's one of the pioneers who helped get this sport going and helped draw the attention of the IHSA to it.
I'm very proud. I didn't expect it to take off this quickly. But the fact that it is and that a lot of people are joining and that a lot of girls are interested is just really amazing to me.
More than 100 high schools in the state have committed to fielding a team this fall. Locally, teams from the Rockford Public High Schools, Harlem, Freeport, and Eastland will have teams. Lamont Jones of the Rockford Park District has been serving as the commissioner of the Northern Illinois Girls Flag Football League. He says flag football for high school girls has filled a big gap for teens.
To see how fast it took off was truly amazing. In 3 short years for a sport to make it through IHSA as a sanctioned sport with a championship series, that's tremendous.
The past 2 years when flag football wasn't sanctioned by the IHSA, the Bears were gracious enough to host a state tournament in Lake Forest. Now the IHSA will begin looking for sites interested in hosting the state finals. Lamont Jones tells me Rockford might make a run at being a host city. That's sports. We'll be right back.
We've got quite the cool down coming up for the weekend, especially Saturday. Is it Saturday morning where our wind chills could be pretty low? A lot lower than we're used to, at least in the last couple weeks.
You know, when you look back at February so far, warmest February on record to date, with temperatures averaging in the low 30s, which is kind of what our average highs should be for the time of year when you factor in the high and low temperature so far for the month. And meteorological winter, the second warmest season to date from December, January, and February. So it's been warm nonetheless, and really we haven't had a lot of snow. And next couple of days we've got a couple of snow showers, but it's rain here tonight. Then you mentioned those single-digit wind chills early Saturday, but back into the 50s next week.
Thanks, Candace, and thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.